welcome to Little Flower Tarot, your floral oracle. My name is Krista, and this is going to be a reading asking the question, how can you heal your sacral chakra? Your sacral chakra is the energy center just below your navel. It's connected to your relationships, your creativity. It is the center of creativity. It creates new life. It is where all of our sexual organs are. It is the energy center that we go to when we want to heal anything having to do with our connection to others or our connection to our gut instincts. And yeah, like I said, our creativity. And yeah, so we're going to tap into that. And I'm feeling the good vibes already. It feels very juicy and flowy, and the energy feels really good. So yeah, so let's see. So today we are also doing an extended energy healing session. I call these energy healing sessions the Infinite Prayer. They are collective energy healing sessions that I channel directly after I do the readings. So they're specifically pertain to the energies that became present within the reading itself. I've made them extremely accessible, so if you feel called, that is there and that is available to you. And if you do happen to do the energy healing session, I would love it if you would comment down below and give me some feedback on that. That would be amazing. So you can choose group number 1, which is the Gerbera daisy. You can choose group number 2, which is the rose, or group number 3, which is the sunflower. So whichever one of these beautiful readings you are being pulled into, go ahead and click the corresponding timestamp below, and we will see you in the reading. Hi, group number 1. Welcome to Little Flower Tarot, your floral oracle. My name is Krista, and today we are asking the question, how can you heal your sacral chakra? You have chosen the orange Gerbera daisy. I think that's how you pronounce it. I've heard it pronounced as Gerber, but I don't know. It's spelled Gerbera, so we're going with that. But yeah, daisies, to me at least, they symbolize like purity and innocence and playfulness, and they also symbolize happiness and friendship. And they actually originated in, like, they're native to South Africa. I think it's really interesting to look up where the flowers are native to. Because, I don't know, it's just kind of cool to think of a Gerbera daisy just like growing out in the wild. Like that's where it just originated. Like it's a wildflower there, I guess. I'd have to look more into it, but that's kind of amazing. But yeah, so we're going to put this aside, and I pulled one card from the Sacred Destiny Oracle, and it's going to be an that's so funny. This probably should have been with the sunflower, but we got purification, and it's going to, our Sacred Destiny card is going to be like an overarching theme, and I love this, purification. I'd already like, I don't know. And then like, it's like a flower. You can just check it out. There we go. So it is a beautiful sunflower in the midst of a bunch of other sunflowers with the rain pouring down on it. And it's kind of, it just reminds me of like a cloudy but sunny day where there's rain and there might be a rainbow. I don't know. It's giving me that vibe. So we'll just put this right up here as our overarching energy. And then we'll pull a couple more cards. So I picked out for this reading as well the Faceted Garden Oracle, and I'm just going to pull a couple cards, however many I feel like, from this little oracle deck. We'll see what we get. All right, we got a wild card. Okay, and again, there's like a storm cloud and some sun shining through the storm cloud, kind of like I said with the energy of the other reading, the other card I just pulled. That's interesting. Little piece of fruit there. All right. We got weather. Okay. This is so funny. There's something about like stormy weather and like the sun peeking through, and yeah. Gorgeous. Okay, we'll do this. Put those here. I think I'm gonna pull 2 more. We've got Watershed. And Wreath. Awesome. Okay. All right, so those are our oracle cards, and I'm pulling the tarot from the Muse Tarot today. I thought it was fitting. The Muse Tarot is all about creativity and art, and I just thought that was fitting for the Sacral Chakra. So I don't know how many tarot cards I'm going to pull just yet, but yeah, so far I'm getting this feeling of feels like walking through like whatever path you're on right now. It's like you're walking through this purification channel, if that makes sense. Like with the weather, obviously with the purification, this wreath, it's a circle, and it's almost like you're walking like from one paradigm to the next, like through a tunnel. There's another circle over here. You've got 2 circles on either side. Oh my God, I love this. And it's like you're walking through one circle through the weather cards. I mean, we've got the rain and the sun there, and same here, rain and sun. Again, you know, weather, like, yeah, so you're going through this purification process, it seems. And you'll be coming out the other end renewed. And a lot of water energy, definitely, because this says watershed. And then we've got the rain here, weather. We've got, oh, there's a rainbow in this card. The weather there, of course. So, yeah, and this almost looks like dry, barren land. It's almost like you came from a dry time or energetic space and you walked through this. You're walking through this tunnel. And so I almost want to check this watershed out a little bit more. It is a really pretty card. And then like with this orange flower here in the middle, it's very fitting for the sacral chakra. It just feels like this is about healing the sacral chakra. So yes, you're walking through a sacral chakra healing. And I'm assuming with all this weather card, it might have been a bit tumultuous or confusing or cloudy on your journey, but we're getting there. So, okay. I'm gonna move the lighting. I feel like I'm having trouble with the lighting in the card. Oh, I know why. Ha! I usually have the ceiling light on. And I don't have the... I'm like, why is it so shadowy when I lift the card up? It's because the ceiling light's not on, duh. All right. Cool. Okay. Let's start pulling some cards. We got Page of Wands, Page of Inspiration, the Hermit. Ooh, nice. 10 of Pentacles in the center. We've got the Muse of Materials, the Muse of Pentacles, which is the King of Pentacles. Those are 2 like amazing cards to get right next to each other. Let me see if I can, since it is, there we go. Everything has to be like aesthetically pleasing. Okay, 7 of Cups. And last but not least, the 6 of Pentacles, the 6 of Materials. And wow, okay. So we have a really beautiful spread. I'm really excited to get into this. Huh. I'm just trying to make it feel, like I said, everything with me, I feel like I have to have it like perfect, and it's ridiculous. Okay. I think this is probably good. I might pull a few more cards a little bit later, but for now I think we'll just start with what we have right here. Okay, let's see what's going on. All right. Okay, so I'm assuming there is a building of a legacy. We've got the 10 of Materials in the middle here. And it's definitely the first card that's pulling me in. And it talks about leaving something behind that you can be proud of or that feels purposeful. It's about living your purpose. It's about providing for not only your family, but like the human family in general, leaving something to the world that makes it a better place and not worse. It's just about like slowly and steadily building your dreams, building a strong, steady rooted life that feels secure. And then, of course, right underneath it, we've got this. This is so beautiful. Because I just mentioned that tunnel, right? And so this is an image of, well, the King of Pentacles is about security as well. It's like the counterpart to the Queen of Pentacles, and I would say like the Queen and King of Pentacles are usually, it will, like a lot of times, the Ten of Pentacles cards will show like a family or a couple, and you know the King and Queen are like the counterparts to this Ten of Materials card. Like they're both the ones that would create this beautiful, amazing legacy. And so we've got the King of Materials down here. And I guess it's making me think of, oh, what I was saying was, sorry, I'm so like all over the place. But what I was saying was earlier when I mentioned that tunnel that you're walking through, I mean, look at this card. You are literally like, there's the light at the end of the tunnel and you're walking through it. It's gorgeous. I mean, it's the perfect representation. It looks like you're walking towards stability, security, wealth, but not just like material, like yes, material wealth, but it feels like this like complete fulfillment that's grounded in the material. It's like a spiritual inner fulfillment that's grounded, as opposed to just going after these material things and then getting them. It's deeper than that. You know, it's a true expression of like your soul's needs and desires being completely fulfilled and met, and reflected within the material world. And not only that, it is the reflection of like the core of who you are and your intentions. And it's like the most beautiful, good-natured aspect of you, and like what that part of you would want to see happen in the world. It's that becoming materialized, like you having and gaining the power to make that happen in the world, make the world a better place. So that is what you're walking towards. Okay. Whew, beautiful. Okay. So yeah, I feel this like energy moving forward. I feel this like solid, steady, planned out, maybe not by you, but by God and the universe. Like you're on that path and you've been on that path. Whether or not it's felt like it, it might have felt like with all this stormy energy and this tunnel energy, it might have felt like confusing, or like there is no, like maybe this path you've been on, the steps you've been taking in your life have felt as if like not purposeless necessarily, but like it feels like it doesn't make sense, because it's almost like you're creating your own path. You're not going on the path that society would expect you to, or basically maybe not that, but it's more like you're not following a well-worn path. Like for instance, the well-worn paths are you get out of high school, you go to college, you get a 9 to 5 like good job, and you have a family, and you know, you're not following like a well-worn path. You're paving your own, but it is a path guided by the divine. It is a path being forged by you and the divine. And whether you realize it or not, you've been following that path, whether it looks like it or not. I get the feeling like it's kind of like anytime you try to take a step on the quote wrong path, or the path that doesn't like feel aligned with you, you instantly kind of know it, and you course correct pretty well. This really feels like if you were like in sacred, or no, what's it called? Human design. It reminds me of like generators being led by their sacral, by their gut, you know? It really feels like a path being led by your gut, by your sacral chakra. And so, you know, those lower chakras, it's not as like clear cut sometimes. Like when you're just following your gut, like you're not always like the logic, the higher energies, like it doesn't always make sense, but you know somewhere in your body what is the right step for you. You follow that. And so, I mean, yeah, with the Hermit card, that is about someone going on their own, soul searching. And like this card in particular, you can see this woman, there are footsteps, and it's like she stepped out on her own into the desert here to find her own way. So, yeah, so, okay. Yeah, and Seven of Cups is about choices, confusion, sometimes illusion, too many choices, like feeling like I'm not sure which one to pick, or like, oh, you know, just it feels like that energy's been present, like this confusing, like I'm not sure if I'm making the right choices, but I'm making choices nonetheless, and I'm just going for it kind of energy. So, and I never really thought about it, but when I look at this like page of inspiration, this page of wands card, it like if I think about the page of wands, that I feel like that would make sense, that it'd be kind of like gut level inspiration. Like pages are the kind of youngest of the court cards, kind of newest, most what's the word? Immature, or not immature, but most inexperienced of the court cards. And bear with me while I sometimes like when I'm doing these readings, this is I think I'm in this energy right now. This like, oh, I'm following my gut, but I don't know where it's leading me kind of thing. Sometimes when I'm doing these readings, that's how I feel. I'm like, what am I even saying? And did anything I just say make sense? Like, I hope it does. But yeah, so the page of wands card, it's like you're a novice, like you felt like a novice at following this path. It's like I'm on this path. I'm just listening to my gut. If you see here, there is a if it wants to focus, there's this black cat here, and there's a circle around her like sacral area. And yeah, so I'm just following my gut. I'm listening to my body. I'm new at this. It feels very almost scary to walk this path because it feels so new and so vulnerable. Yeah. But ultimately, it feels like you're on the right path. The steps you've been taking haven't been aimless. They've been purposeful. They've been planned out by the divine, whether you think they have or not, whether you question your steps on your path or not. The whole thing, it feels like, is this beautiful sacred geometry of a plan by the divine to get you to this 10 of materials reality. Like you are the King of Cups, like walking to this 10 of materials reality. And the purification feels like you have been being purified, because here's the thing. There are a lot of traps on earth. Like when you're walking your path, like, okay, we all want material. Not all of us, I don't know, I can't speak for everyone, but many people would like to have all of their basic needs and more met. Many people would like financial freedom, just feeling safe, being able to take care of their family. Like many people do go after this financial freedom. And there are many pitfalls on that path. And it feels like if you have been having delays, towards that path, like on that path, and it feels like nothing's been lining up. It feels like it's more so like purification energy, because there's a very pure part of you that doesn't want to attain material wealth unless it's in a way that's in harmony with humanity and nature. So that part of you is the part of you that's been leading you through this tunnel. And you might not understand logically, and it might have been difficult walking, or maybe it is difficult. Like, I feel like you're still like in the tunnel a little bit, and like you're towards the end of it. It might be difficult walking through this tunnel and walking this path, but you have to trust that actually it is a part of you that is co-creating with the divine, creating these so-called obstacles, or these things that are slowing you down, or these discomforts, or whatever it may be. Because when you get to the Ten of Pentacles reality, when you get to that financial stability and financial freedom, it's going to be more than just financial stability and financial freedom. It's going to be rooted in the sense of purpose that's connected to the truth of who you are, and like your true soul essence and your true soul purpose, that when you get there, you're going to be seeding in, like, how do I put this? I think you probably know what I'm saying. Like, you're going to be seeding into the health of the earth and humanity. You're going to be sowing into that in the way that you're called to sow into it, in the way that you are most qualified to do so, to help the earth, to help humanity. So the wealth that you attain, or prosperity that you create, is going to come from this beautiful, amazing, pure place that is going to be untainted by ego-driven desires, or societal expectation, or I think you get what I'm saying. This is all necessary. The confusion, the storm you're walking through, the delays, it's all necessary for you to find yourself embodied in this new reality that is directly, like, you're receiving everything you receive from the divine, for the divine, and from the divine. Yeah, it really feels, I just see you like planting your seeds, tending to your garden, and it is like a garden that's going to grow and spread like throughout humanity and throughout the earth. And it's like one of those things that ripples out. And that's the legacy. That's what a legacy truly is. It's not about just money. It's not about just setting up your family. You know, it's deeper than that. True legacy is knowing that the seeds you're sowing, like, you will not see them. You might not see them in their full fruition. You might die before you get to see them in their full fruition. That's true legacy. That's true faith. That's true purpose. So this path you're taking is aligning you with that. That's where not only like God, the universe, your angels, whatever you resonate with, wants for you. But there's a deep part of your sacral chakra, like something in your sacral and your gut and your soul and your body that wants this for you too. And that luckily you've, whether you realize it or not, you have given power to guide you on this path and to have an integral say on this path. And so, yeah, it makes sense because the sacral chakra is your connection to the rest of humanity. It's your creative center. It's the place that births anything and everything related to purpose, because it births literally human beings in general. Like it's like one of the deepest like pleasure centers in the body. Like it's this amazing, yes, like amazing, beautiful, colorful place of the birth of everything that is good and holy and pure. So yeah, this part of you is guiding you, and it's been guiding you this whole time. And if you're going through struggles in your relationships, or in your, even like in your own being and your own way of relating to yourself, and or you've been doing any healing in terms of your creativity and relationships, and even if that's been difficult, or you feel like you've gone on detours because of this healing, or whatever it may be, it's all because this part of you wants to have this like deep integral part. It wants to be a part of your life, and the way you live your life. Like it wants you to experience like all your like bodily needs and desires. It wants you to feel embodied in all of who you are. It wants to pull it in and like root it into the earth. Like it wants to pull all of your dreams into the earth, and truly let them truly like flourish and seed and be birthed through you. And this part of you it's like, it's really powerful, and you've given it that power, because I feel like you're letting it lead you, whether you realize it or not. So it's interesting. It's really cool that you just trust it, and I love that. And I think that's a testament to how much you believe God is in the body. God is on the earth, because like that is like our lower chakras are more connected, rooted, connected to our bodies, connected to the earth, and especially our sexual center. It is very like embodied, and like it's all, I mean, we literally create new human beings there. And so it's, yes, this part of you is guiding you more than I would say anything else. Because if you really just allowed only your higher chakras to guide you, I feel like that's where you tend to get into escapism and stuff. Yeah, so I would say you're actually doing an amazing job of following your gut instincts and following the path that you're meant to follow, and walking through the healing that you're meant to walk through. But if we were to see, I mean, that's the thing. I don't want to like go hunting for problems. Like I'm like, this is a question of how can you heal your sacral chakra? But like part of me like doesn't want to go hunting for like, okay, well, what's wrong here? What do we need to heal here? It's part of me wants to say like the way in which you can like, we'll just say like empower your sacral chakra and root into your sacral energy is to sniff out the good that's happening in your life. Sniff out that gut feeling that's guiding you. Like look for it. Like, oh, okay, yeah. Like where in my life have I been confused and kind of judging myself, or wondering if I'm making the right decisions, but I'm still making those decisions that are good for me. Like where am I doing that? Like where have I been listening to my sacral, my gut? And even if I've been critical of those decisions, like let's look at that. Let's give ourselves credit for the decisions we've been making, following our gut instinct, following our sacral desires. Not like just making sure it has a say in your overall purpose and your path. Like, because it's like, if you don't listen to that part of you, it's the part of you that's connected to humanity and that wants to feel connected and loved and integrated in your relationships and in your intimate community or in your widespread community, both. That's just as much a part of your destiny, your legacy, your purpose as your job, or the vocation you choose, or the thing you do to like give to the earth, or give to people. That sense of connectedness and integration in your human family is just as important, if not more important. Or if not, I mean, it's not, nothing's more important, I get. Like, it's all balanced and equal, and needed. All of these elements are needed. But I just feel like this is the part of you that's helping you not only attain the material prosperity, but the prosperity within, the abundance within the connections in your life, and the feelings of love and interconnectedness and all that stuff. So yeah, like, if you've been questioning your path and the steps you've been taking recently, just trust. I just feel like you're making all the right decisions. And even if, I just feel like that you can't go wrong. Like, you can't screw it up, because I feel like this part of you is so powerful. And I think your inner alarm system is like working perfectly fine. So if you do step off the path, it's pretty quick for you to get right back on it. You've been on it and you've barely stepped off of it. I don't know if it seems like recently you haven't. Like, you're there, you're on the path, and it feels like you're going to be walking into this new era, this new way of being. And there's just like a tiny, tiny bit left to go. But I almost feel like, since there is only this little bit left to go, like, I don't want to, it's like, I got this feeling of like, oh, still a little bit left to go. Don't even think of it that way. Like, with this card, let's show you this card, and like, let's get you looking at this imagery, because, okay, so there she is, right? She sees the light at the end of the tunnel. She sees it's this beautiful horizon waiting her. And I want to say it's a sunrise, because even if it is a sunset, either way, like, there is this beautiful new life and way of being, and material expression of life that is just right there. And it's plain and what am I saying? It's in plain daylight. Like, you can see it, it's there. It is a sure thing. I almost think that this last little bit of time, what would be most beneficial for you is to reflect and find gratitude for this tunnel that you've been walking through. Find the beauty in it. Look at it, turn around, and just take a second, or even sit down for a minute, knowing that that's not going anywhere. That's right there. This new reality that is your desire and you are ready for isn't going anywhere. But it might be kind of nice to just sit down and reflect and, close up, like, tie up any loose ends, close any chapters, find the beauty in what you just witnessed and experienced in your life. Find the gratitude for it, and assess, what do I want to bring with me, and what do I need to let go of into this new phase. And, let go of the baggage that you need to let go of, and hold in your heart the relationships, the lessons, the love, anything you experienced in this tunnel. Hold that in your heart. Anything that's infinite in nature and just a part of you now, hold that in your heart. And just then, when you're ready and when you feel like, okay, I've made peace, I'm ready to walk out of this path. I think that's actually, I feel like there's a ceremonial thing that needs to happen before you exit the tunnel. So, do some like journaling, find what you're grateful for, like, rest on that sure knowing that things are changing, even if it doesn't look like it. Like, even if you don't have the material proof yet, rest on your sure knowing, your rooted knowing that this new reality is literally, like, I can see it right there. It's right there. I'm almost there. And then take stock and do your cord cutting or your acknowledging of the beauty, and just find that peace and ground it into your body, and then stand up and walk out and move into the next phase of your life, and then celebrate with all your loved ones. Okay, interesting. Honestly, let me see if I haven't touched on any, like, I didn't touch on the 6 of coins here, the 6 of Pentacles too much. The 6 of Pentacles is about reciprocity, balance. It's about kind of like karma being paid back, like good karma being paid back. It feels like maybe this is something that's waiting for you on the other end of this tunnel. I mean, maybe like all of the seeds you've sown into the world are going to start paying their dividends, you know, like, yeah, it just feels like this is something that is awaiting you. Everything's going to balance out, like all the investment of time, of energy, of love, of creativity that you've put in while in this tunnel. It's all going to come showering down on you. Like it's going to, like like eventually, like things have to balance out. It's like natural law for it too. So I just feel like this is what is waiting for you. Yeah. And because it's coming up, maybe like new, like this is very mirrored. And maybe there's like a counterpart or like a friend, a new friend, like just someone who's here to like help you with your next phase. Like it almost feels like a new person coming in and being there for you and yeah, supporting you in this next phase of your journey. So be open to new energies and but very balanced energy and very reciprocal and very like like we get each other, we're understood, we're on the same level. Like that kind of energy feels like it's gonna come in. So yeah, but I feel like, yep. And then like this is the end of the tunnel. I decided this is the beginning of the tunnel, all dry, the wreath, there's like desert energy there. And this is the end of the tunnel, and it's literally called watershed. And what I think a watershed is like a place where water collects, right? And it feels like it's going to start pouring into your life. Like all of this stuff has been dammed up, like the abundance waiting you has been dammed up, and it's like it's ready to come in. So yeah, I mean, I think this is it. Keep going. You're going to be entering into a whole new phase of your life. Keep following your gut instinct. Keep going. Keep creating whatever it is you desire to create. Keep going. And I said that like a million times. Sorry. Keep going. But yeah, it's coming. Take a moment, like I said, and assess and like be grateful for where you've been. Let go of what you don't need anymore, and then stand up and walk to the next phase of your life. So thank you so much. This was an amazing reading. I'm going to leave it right there. I feel like that was a really succinct and beautiful message. We're going to, at the end of all 3 readings, I'm going to do a collective energy healing transmission. I call these transmissions the infinite prayer. So there will be a link down below if you'd like to do this energy healing transmission. I've made it extremely accessible. I just like the idea of, having it more accessible to more people, because it feels like the more people that come to it, the energy would be even more powerful. Yeah, so you can download the video and watch it as many times as you want, and the energy healing will just be just as potent as the first time you watched it. So it is an infinite stream of loving, healing energy from God. So that's the way I look at it. Alrighty, so the link will be down below for the infinite prayer. Thank you so much for being here. Lots of love. Bye. Hello, welcome to Little Flower Tarot, your floral oracle. My name is Krista, and today we are asking the question, how can you heal your sacral chakra? You've chosen the rose. And so, as we all probably know, the rose is related to romantic love. And its origins, I did look up its origins, and it actually originated in China. That's where people think it like began being cultivated. Yeah, so I don't really know what else to say about the rose other than it is related to romantic love. I like to think of it being related to self-love as well, especially this beautiful fuchsia. I don't know. I really, like, I don't know, like going to the store and just like, if you're just loving on yourself and you just buy yourself roses for no reason, like it's that kind of vibe. But yeah, okay, let's see. No, that's all I wrote. Okay. That's all I wrote about the rose. But anyway, I pulled an oracle card from the Sacred Destiny Oracle, and this is going to be an overarching theme for the entire reading. And you got, you got protection. I'm kind of obsessed with that. That's nice. Ooh, okay. You are protected. Yes, you are protected. Okay. Ooh, I'm getting sneezy. Okay, so I'm going to pull a few cards from the Faceted Garden Oracle. I don't know how many I'll pull yet, so we shall see. Group number 2, how can you heal your sacral chakra? Oh, yeah, I just got really like sneezy and scratchy. Oh my goodness, what happened? Was that Rose? All right, let's try this again. Okay, here we go. Okay, so you got light, flame and light, fall, and sun. Wow. Wow. Okay. And then I'm going to pull tarot cards from the Muse Tarot. I thought the Muse Tarot was pretty fitting for a sacral chakra reading. It is a deck all about creativity and art, so. Oh. Okay. We have the Three of Swords, the Hanged Man, the Hanged Muse, the Moon, Five of Wands, and the Queen of Cups. I feel like I want to make sure it's nice and purty here. Oh, I feel like, oh, I didn't realize we had so much room. So, well, let's go ahead and pull these down then. And let's pull one more. Ace of Wands. Okay. Okay. So the first thing I'm getting is this beautiful, amazing, divine light of protection. And not only that, but it just feels like you have like an army of souls and angels and guides, like protecting you and guiding you. It really feels like this divine intervention energy. Like it really feels, wow. Like it feels like this is a sacral chakra reading, but I really feel like my crown chakra, like it feels like divine hits, divine inspiration, like this lightning coming down, but it feels like you're also still very rooted on the earth, and so that's interesting. Okay. So I mean, like, God is with you, like you are so powerfully protected and supported and guided. So, and then we've got the Ace of Inspiration, the Ace of Wands is pulling me in. It just feels like, yeah. And then I see this like fire energy coming in and like entering into your, like this woman. It's like this fire energy entering into her mind and like coming down. And yeah, that's the vibe right now. So it feels like maybe you're going through maybe like an awakening, or you're being inundated with inspiration. This fire element is really strong. There's flame, light, sun, and then like this Ace of Wands over here, that's fire. We've got wands. Yeah, we've got 2 wands cards. Wow, and then this lightning. What's this moon though in the middle of it? This watery, darker energy here in the middle of all this like light, white fire energy. Like, I wonder what's going on here. It feels like, Okay. So I'm feeling like there might be an imbalance in, like, what I originally picked up was all this beautiful, amazing, like divine inspiration, this divine light, like this guiding source. And it's almost like blinding. And I see this, it felt like this moon card, which has to do with your intuition. It has to do with like what's hidden underneath, like in like a dark sphere. It reminds me of like shadow work and I mean, the moon, your moon cycle, like that's it. It's very sacral chakra-y. It's a very water element card, and I got this energy like the moon was crying out, like I need attention. I need to be honored in a new way. Like I want to play more of a part in this creation of this life. Like I want to be witnessed for who I am. I want to be witnessed as the sacred part of you that's just as important as these like crown chakra energies, right? So if it's like the sacral chakra calling out to not only play more of a part, but be honored in that and how it plays a part in your path and in the steps. This feels like a continuation of group number 1, if I'm being completely honest, because group number 1 was all about like how you're on the right path and how your gut's been guiding you this entire time, even if you haven't realized it. It's like this ally and it's like the reason why things have been difficult is because you're letting this part of you guide you. So it almost feels like this part of you is just a huge part of your internal guidance system, like your gut, like if you are a generator or a manifesting generator. I don't know if those are the only two. I'm not well versed in human design, but it's like that gut part of you that leads the way. So it almost like there's this imbalance where you're overly relying on your like divine nudges, like these like higher like energy centers of divine inspiration. It's like you're leaning into that like way too much when it's almost like there's not enough sacral energy here. There's not enough wish I could word things the way I see them in my mind, but so it's almost like let me take a second and like regroup here. So it feels like your sacral chakra kind of does things a little differently than your crown chakra or your third eye, right? So your crown chakra and third eye, the purpose is different, right? The crown chakra is to feel connected to the divine. Your third eye is about intuition. And so those two energy centers, and I would say, yeah, into your throat, but those two energy centers are more about like divine guidance, divine inspiration, and they're amazing and they're very needed. But this sacral chakra, she's like, oh my gosh, like we need more. It's like she's crying out for more attention, more feeling more connected. Like she wants you to like sink into her, and she wants you to pull yourself down and like listen to her. Oh, my baby kitty wants to come in. 1 second. Come on in, sweetie. Okay. But yeah, she wants more attention. She just wants to be more of an integral part of your life, and she has a lot to say to you. And she wants you to listen. What the? How did she? Okay. We had one cat. We had Winnie join us, and now we've got Jackson in here. So we'll see how this goes. But yeah, so your sacral, this is like a conversation with your sacral chakra. Your sacral chakra is saying, I have things I need to tell you. I have inspiration. I am a source of inspiration just as much as your third eye, your crown, your connection to the divine. Like I am your connection to the divine as well, but it's in a different way. It's in a more subtle way. It's in a more rooted way. And here's Jackson, ladies and gentlemen. My little buddy wants to make a little appearance. You making an appearance in the sacral chakra reading, buddy? Yeah? Getting those good vibes? All right, come on. Let's go down. Come on, buddy. Hop on down. Come on. Oh. All right, buddy boy. I'm a little busy. Sorry. All right. Anyway. Anyway, I got this. Yeah. Like just saying ladies and gentlemen, and then we had a female cat come in, and then now the male cat's in. And I did put specifically the this masculine energy and the female energy stones. That's what I've deemed them as over here as well. So there's something there as well. There's something like with masculine energy and feminine energy balancing in your sacral. But yes, so listening to your sacral chakra. And like with this Two of Wands, like Two of Wands is about exploration, looking ahead, planning, mapping out your future, or yeah, it's kind of getting with as far as it's related to the sacral chakra, it's giving me this vibe of like this new way of experiencing your sacral, this new way of experiencing that center in your body, and kind of like exploring that center of your body. So it really feels like you're definitely being called into that. You're being called into the exploration of an experience of your sacral chakra in a new way, because like the energies of the sacral and the root, to me anyway, they feel darker, denser. They're more connected to the earth, you know, and it feels like it's not so much of, sometimes it can feel like it's heavier, and it's not so much of as this, it's not the same as like when you get these amazing, like expansive, like insights and aha moments from the divine that come in through your crown. It's different, you know. It feels more, I would say it's more colorful. It feels more materialized. It feels more real and grounded and graspable. It's like this truth and this energy that's a lot more like rooted. And so I don't know. I guess to some people that might not be as inviting. I don't know, because I know I fall into that trap of wanting to just exist in these higher vibrations of like, I don't know, like, I don't know how to put it. Sometimes I just want to escape into my light and into my higher energy centers, and I just want to stay in that place of connection to the divine and inspiration and the lightness of it all. Like but it becomes an escape, and it just feels like, yeah, the rooty, sacrally energy is calling you into it. And let's try and do that. Let's do that in this reading. Let's dive deep here. Yeah, like with the Hanged Man, the Hanged Muse, I just see you meditating on your sacral chakra and kind of communicating with that energy center. And it's like, this kind of like, there's an eye on this card, and it's like, okay, we're gonna hang out with our sacral chakra, and we're gonna open open an eye inside of our sacral chakra, like a spiritual eye, or, you know, just like observe it, sit there with it, listen, allow it to speak to us, allow it to communicate with us in the way, allow her to communicate with us in the way she wants to. So yeah, you're definitely, and then we've got this Three of Swords card here. So there might be some healing that needs to be done in the sacral chakra. Obviously, that's what this reading is. It's how can you heal your sacral chakra. But I'm getting this feeling like, there's almost like a hesitance to dive into your sacral chakra, because maybe there is a sensing that there is this deeper healing that needs to be done that might be kind of painful to walk through. Yeah. But it almost feels like the fear of whatever this thing is that you need to heal is a little bit stronger than the actual healing of it, because it's like she's in this shadow in this door, and she's like, oh, I can't go in there. Like, I'm too afraid. I can't walk through that door. I don't want to see what's down there. But as soon as she walks through the door, like, look at all the light on the ground here, you know? Like there is light shining there. It is there is clarity available. Like even though there is this shadow of pain, there is so much clarity awaiting. If only you just take that step. You know, you take that step, you open the door, and then you sit there and you allow yourself to experience the truth of what's really going on. I just feel like there's so much awakening that wants to happen within your sacral chakra that you've been avoiding because you're afraid that if you go into that space, and with your sacral chakra, it is very much about your connections, your sense of safety and trust in your relationships. It is all about your sense of it's like the source of who you are. It's like the creativity center. It holds our sexual organs. It's how and through which we are born. You know, it's literally the womb. It is the portal through which we come onto this earth. It is such an insanely powerful energy center with so much wisdom and so much light and power and goodness and color. And when we've been wounded, when we've been hurt, we almost forget ultimately, like the true essence of our sacral chakra is supposed to feel trustful, connected, content, joyful, like pleasure filled, like a sense of holy pleasure, feeling like our sexuality is holy and sacred. There is so much good that wants to be experienced within the sacral that makes us feel so safe and so much like ourself. And it's one of those things where, like I said, the fear of what you'll come into contact with is worse than what it actually is. So yes, you're being beckoned into communication with your sacral chakra. If you're a female, like your womb space, like just your sacral energy in general. You are being called to connect to that and what that means for you. And I feel like there's an awakening that's meant to happen for you because, oh yeah, there is like so much of this awakening energy here. And it's kind of like, if you know what it feels like to feel like spiritually awakened in your higher chakras. Yeah. Oh yeah, now it's coming together. Yeah, there's an awakening available to you within your sacral chakra. And yeah, all of this is here. Like, yes, all of this has been downloaded. You've been awakened in so many higher ways in these higher areas. And that light wants to like continue down the tunnel and down the path of like your energy centers into your sacral chakra, and wants to illuminate the space in there, and wants to like not only illuminate what needs to be healed, of course, and we can like shine light on that, and we can bring it into the light and send love to it, and send our own nurturing energy and our own acceptance, and, you know, experience what we need to experience and walk through what we need to walk through, whatever like shame or whatever pain or feelings of like, I know like sacral, for me anyway, like a lot of the healing I've had to do in my sacral chakra has had to do with this sense of learning and knowing my own sovereignty, like my own, like I just like, when the world has wounded you, or like your upbringing, or just things you've experienced in terms of your relationships and your sense of safety and community, and like in intimacy, it just gets really clouded. And see, it's like the inner, I can feel that. It's like, what was I saying? The cloudedness is very like confusing. And so, okay, I feel like I'm sorry. I feel like I was on a trajectory with that message, and it'll come back if it needs to. But I was just kind of saying, like, with a lot of the sacral healing I've had to do, it has had to do with healing those shadows. And it can be heavy, and it can be scary. But we're meant as human beings to experience our bodies. And I know what I was saying. I was saying like with the sacral chakra, sometimes it can feel as if your sovereignty has been impinged upon. And when you enter into your sacral chakra and you process all of the emotion, and I feel like a lot of shame gets lodged in there, especially since it's our sexual center. When you process that and you shine light on that and you send love to that and you accept yourself there in that place, in that wounded space, you let the distortion of it just be, and you just love yourself anyway and trust that you are inherently good in that space. You are inherently good in your body. You are inherently good in your sexuality. You are inherently good in all of you is inherently good. And you just keep affirming that. You will heal, and then eventually this light will not only heal, like, yes, it's meant to like unearth these dark wounds and these things that need our love, but it's also meant on the flip side of that to show us how we're supposed to feel, how we were always supposed to feel within that space. And what we're supposed to feel is a deep sense of safety in our connections, we're a deep knowing and like discernment of what's right for us, of what's good for us, of what's healthy for us. It's supposed to be this energy center that guides us in the most profound ways to put up little red flags where, the protection. It's supposed to protect us. The space is supposed to feel protected and protective for us. And yeah, I feel like not in like a walls up, I'm going to put my walls up and not let anybody in kind of way, but just in like a subtle nudge of like, hey, this person isn't healthy for us. So we're going to put a boundary right there with that person, or we're going to, walk away from that person, or spend less time, or do what we can to protect ourselves from that person. It's just much more gentle. Whereas I feel like with a wounded sacral chakra, it can be very like harsh and very like overly protective. But then also at the other, it's like two ends of the spectrum. We're either like putting our walls way up, or we're like totally misreading the room and like not, and letting someone in that does not deserve our, like, just doesn't deserve our time, or doesn't deserve our vulnerability. So yeah, so with the sacral, definitely what it's meant to do is be a guidance system for us, and an inherent protection within our being that tells us kind of where to go and how to navigate the world in a gentle, loving way, but still in a grounded, rooted, protected way that keeps us safe and keeps us feeling able to connect with our community, able to be intimate with our closest people in our life, able to have an intimate, healthy relationship, and able to know when someone might hurt you, or might like know instantly, and not even get close to people like that. Like that is the internal protection of the sacral chakra. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. So we've got the 5 of Wands here. The 5 of Wands is about conflict, and the way this imagery is, it feels like almost like internal conflict. We've got these mirrors with clouds in them. So it's like interesting. Very much air element and fire. Well, of course, fire. It's Wands is fire element. Air and fire. Feels a little parched. But then we've got the clouds. Those have water in them. I don't know. It's very interesting. It kind of just brings me this energy of like seeking for nourishment, looking for nourishment inside yourself, because they look like mirrors. So it's almost like looking for nourishment inside yourself, but only getting these like vague, misty clouds of nourishment. Like that's the only water element that's there. So feeling parched, feeling like I only ever have like a little bit of what I need. I never really have like that. I need like a spring of water that I can actually drink, as opposed to these misty clouds that are doing nothing. Like it's it's not graspable, it's not drinkable, it's not nurturing me at all. Yeah. So, you know, yeah, there's a lot of like the light energy, the fire energy. It's very dry. We don't have any cups. Oh my gosh, wait a second. It's almost like I didn't even see this. That's wild. Wow. Okay. We've got the Queen of Cups. We've got the Queen of Emotions here. And this is literally I mean, look at this water card. I feel like this is where you're headed. Into this beautiful feeling nurtured, not only feeling nurtured, but feeling like you're so nurtured and like emotionally fulfilled, and like just your whole body feels like nourished and good and safe and healed. And it's almost like you're so nourished that you have so much to give the world around you. You can feed and nourish the world around you emotionally, spiritually, like this leader. It's like this beautiful, compassionate, nurturing, in touch with her emotions, but in control at the same time, like kind of just beautiful, amazing, feminine leader. Like it's gorgeous. And I feel like the way in which, so if you have been feeling like parched, kind of like nothing's ever been feeling like creatively or relationally, if there's something going on where you feel unsatisfied, unfulfilled, I feel like what I was expressing, like sitting with your sacral and listening to your sacral more often and feeling more connected to that energy space in your body, is going to be the path to finding this deeper fulfillment. So it's inside of yourself. It really is. Like I feel like you've been kind of scratching the surface. Like it feels like this person is like looking in these mirrors and like gaining a little bit of sustenance, but not getting what she fully needs. And it's just like, it's like spreading herself thin and not like, I don't know, scratching the surface. Like, it's like, I'm going to tiptoe and like maybe step in and like dip my toe in. Uh-oh. Oh, I thought my cat was, okay. I thought the cat was peeing on the floor. I heard water. Water falling. Anyway, weird. But so yeah, so this, it's time to go deeper. I know there's fear there. I know there's hesitance there to dig into these wounds or to dig into this space, any more than you already have. But I just feel like it's not unfounded completely, because I think there are things there that need healed fully. But it's not going to be as intense as you think it's going to be. It's going to be worth it. So, and like Three of Swords is, while it is an air element card, it is a lot about heartbreak and emotional pain. So there might be like some moments where you have to cry it out, there might be like just some, I don't know, but it really feels like this light beaming down is more about awakening in that space and shining light in that space. Yeah. Okay. And I just feel like with the Hanged Man is about finding new perspectives as well. And I just feel like this Two of Wands, like seeing things in a new way, like venturing into new territory within that space. I just feel like there's so much richness in there for you to explore, and so much awakening within your sacral that is asking you to come to it, come to it. And I just feel like this protection, sun, flame, light, like I feel like all of this is telling you that you are so protected in that space. I wonder what this Fall card is about. We've got some mushrooms. We've got, Yeah. So, okay. So if you look at this, like fall, of course, is about letting go, shedding old ways, old skin. And I feel like there's this old way of relating to like your sacral energies that it's going to be shed. And then there's like, see this is very similar to this energy with the circles and looking in this new and looking in and seeing, like, I don't know, just seeing a new way of seeing there's some sort of new horizon in your sacral. Like there's a new way of like experiencing that space in your body and that energy center. It's just beckoning you into it. So I'm trying to think of like things that you can do to connect to your sacral. So I know dance is like a huge way to connect to your sacral. I know painting, art, like any type of creative expression. What else? Writing. I was gonna say, well, then meditation, I think. Like originally, it just felt like you're being called to sit with your sacral and listen intuitively, like open your eye there, like your intuitive eye, and like listen and maybe journal out like what you get. And but yeah, dancing, moving your body, feeling more in your, like things you can do to feel more in your body. What else? I don't know. I just think whatever's coming up in your mind, like I would just sit right now and take a moment and like ask the universe, God, like, what is it that you're calling me to do to connect to my sacral? I want to experience this in a new way. So, yeah, just ask and write down what you get. And, but off the top of my head, any ways that you feel creative or feel expressive in your body, that's do that. So, yeah. Yeah, there's a new way of relating to your sacral chakra that's waiting for you. And so, yeah, I hope that answers the question, like, how can you heal your sacral chakra? Like, we came around to the practical ways, but I think the message that was held here is that there's a deeper sense of, how do I put it? Like, deeper sense of honoring that space in your body to where you can feel more embodied within it, that feels safe, that feels sacred, that feels expressive, that feels open, trusting, and juicy. Like there is this juicy, like easy breezy, just beautiful protected state that wants to be experienced in your body. And like a lot of like even my body right now is kind of moving as I say that. They're one like movement, dance. Yeah, you'll see. And that's the main answer, like with this too, like you'll see once you get there, an awakening is waiting for you in your body, in your sacral chakra, and it's coming. So trust in that. And follow the guidance to listen to your sacral, and you'll see. You will see this awakening is coming, and I'm excited for you. So, yeah, I'm like, is that the end? Are we good? Is that the message? There's a big element of faith here for sure. I think this is just your little nudge to like, okay, keep going. Like do a little bit more work there. And then like like everything's gonna like wake up, and it's like your creativity is all of a sudden going to like explode, and like your like sexual energy is gonna be more potent and more powerful and feel more pure, and like I just feel like there is this huge enlivening awakening coming for you. That's like, yes, like that is the potential here. This Queen of Cups, beautiful, like nurturing, flowy, inspirational, like this Ace of Wands, like just this beautiful, amazing, inspirational, like movement energy that wants to come through and that wants to be embodied in you. This light wants to expand through your sacral, and it's just like, come on, one little last nudge, let's go in here and do a little bit more exploring, and like there you go. So it's coming. Yeah. Alrighty, I'm gonna leave it at that. And at the end of all 3 readings, I am going to do a collective energy healing transmission today. I call these transmissions the infinite prayer. They are infinite in nature. I've made them extremely accessible. I feel like the more people who come in, the more powerful the energy is. So if you want to participate in that, I'm going to leave a link down below. You can download the video and listen to it as often as you want. That's another reason why I call it the infinite prayer. And yeah, that's available for you if you want to come and like sit in that energy with all of us. So alrighty, I will see you in another reading, or if you're just leaving me here. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your presence. Bye. Hello. Welcome to Little Flower Tarot, your floral oracle. My name is Krista, and today we are asking the question, how can you heal your sacral chakra? You have chosen this beautiful sunflower. Sunflowers symbolize optimism, hope, inner power. As I'm looking at it, it looks like this eyeball. Like, it's kind of freaking me out a little bit. It's like, oh my God, like that is an eye. But yeah, so yeah, positivity, light, joy, and they originated in North America, actually. The Native Americans cultivated them, and they used it for like flour to make like cakes and, like food. And they, of course, ate the seeds. And yeah, so beautiful, amazing, native to, where I'm at. Lovely, bright, beautiful sunflower. So we will put this right up here for now. And so I pulled a card from the Sacred Destiny Oracle. And this is going to be an overarching energy to the reading. And you got truth. And interesting. Lots of air energy there. There's a lot of wind in this card, and then there's almost like, it feels like a spirit guide or an ancestor like speaking. So it feels like there's this guidance coming in from, because it is very human up here. So it feels like, like a guide or ancestor, someone who's been human once, could be coming in during this reading to speak to you. And then I'm going to pull a couple of cards from the Faceted Garden Oracle. It's like little supporting energies. Yeah, so the sacral chakra has to do with our connection to other humans. It has to do with our creativity. Is literally the center of creativity. It's the place where babies are created and grown and born. So yeah, it's a pretty powerful energy center. And obviously the color associated with it, I have put orange here. I keep forgetting to tell people to go into more detail about the chakras, because I mean, not everybody necessarily knows. So, but I guess people could look it up, but I want to kind of get but I really think it ultimately has to do with intimate relationships and your feelings of safety and trust within those relationships, your ability to have healthy relationships. So yeah, so we'll see what comes up. We've got herbal allies. We got weather. We got wild card. Weather and wild card came up in group number 1, so it might be something number 1 might resonate with you. And then we've got thaw. And it looks like it's like icebergs kind of thawing out. Kind of looks like, I don't want to say this, but it kind of reminds me of global warming, like the sun and the earth here and like the icebergs melting. But ultimately, maybe it's more about like having to do with your relationships and like thawing the ice on your sacral chakra and being more vulnerable and open and watery. So we'll see. For some reason, I wanted to open this up too, or look at the back of this, and it says thorns over here. So, you know what? I am going to take it and then take one more. Sun. So, here we go. Okay. Yeah, sun and thaw, those kind of go together. Okay. Alrighty. Now I'm going to pull cards from the Muse Tarot deck. I thought the Muse Tarot deck was fitting because it is a lot about art and creativity. Yeah, so let's see. Group number 3. How can group number 3 heal their sacral chakra? What messages do they need to hear to help them heal their sacral chakra? Alrighty. Okay, there we go. All right, so we've got the 7 of Wands, the Magician, the Lovers. Yay, it's a relationship kind of oriented. I don't think they've really been focused on. I mean, of course, the sacral chakra always kind of has to do with your relationships, but I'm kind of excited to talk about relationships. Okay, 9 of Wands. All right, I think we're gonna leave it here for now. I might pull, well, no, I need more. We've got the Wheel, which is the Wheel of Fortune. One more. Alrighty. The Muse of Wands, which is the King of Wands over here as well. So, okay. What do we have? Holy moly. The Tower. I don't think I mentioned that as I said it. We have the Tower. Lots of major arcana. So my first instinct is to say this is a huge shift in how you are moving forward in your intimate connections, as far as even like your closer friendships go. Yeah, the Wheel of Fortune is giving me major turning of the tide, major cycle shift, and yeah, and then the Lovers is really like, it's the central card, so it really feels like, whew, yeah, you are lovable. Like I got like this Truth card. It was like, the truth of how lovable you are is going to become more apparent in your life. And it feels like this Wheel of Fortune, the tides are turning in your favor as far as how connected you feel to the people around you, your shift in how you're relating to the people around you. And not only that, but it really feels like a shift in how you're seeing yourself. It feels like a shift in what you're knowing of what you're worthy of in terms of your relationships. So it almost feels like with this Thaw card, maybe you've been going through a cycle where you've been more closed off and more I don't want to say like icy towards people, but maybe like kind of walls up kind of energy. It's like feeling like, yeah, I mean, a little icy, you know, like a little bit like overprotective, a little bit, but not, I wouldn't say it's in like some sort of unhealthy way. I just feel like we're kind of thawing some layers here, and it has to do with how we're connecting to the people around us, and yeah, how worthy we feel of healthy, positive relationships that feel loving and supportive and good. And yeah, okay, alrighty, let's see, what else am I getting here? So the Tower is a pretty powerful card. The Tower is about like major upheaval, and so if I'm talking about the sacral chakra and how you're relating to the people around you, it could be relating to well, it's taking me back to like original wounding in a way. It's almost like where you've been hurt by others, where you've been burned, where you've been, yeah, wounded. Like as far as like feeling safe to be intimate with others, feeling safe in your own ability to be warm and loving and feel vulnerable and connected to others. It almost feels like this Tower card is pulling me back to times when you've been betrayed or you've been hurt, or you've learned that people aren't to be trusted. You've learned that when you do open up and you're your full, raw, vulnerable self, you're vulnerable. That's literally the meaning of, you're vulnerable to be hurt. And it's taking me back to when you've been hurt by the people around you. And like your sense of safety within your vulnerability kind of like crumbling. It's almost like a lot of times the tower, like the tower can feel scary, and it can be like huge like things that come out of left field that like throw you off course. And a lot of times tower moments suck. Like they suck to get through. But this almost feels like a tower moment that like lasted for so long. Like this tower moment was you being hurt by people you trusted, people you felt safe with, people you opened up to, you were vulnerable with, people, whatever resonates. But and it's almost like it's this moment never, like it's not full, it hasn't come full circle yet. So basically you were obviously, I mean, I don't want to be like obviously, but you were trusting, you putting your trust and your energy and your vulnerability in the wrong space. And I wouldn't call it even the wrong space. It's just a space that proved not to be safe for your vulnerability. And I would argue, and I'm not saying like trying to demonize anyone who hurt you or that time period of your life or whatever it is, because we're all kind of on our own journeys, and sometimes we unconsciously wound each other and we don't want to, but we do, out of our own unhealed trauma. And it's like one of those things that happens. But yeah, this is taking me to that, and it feels like this tower moment has scarred you in a way to where you've put you kind of like put ice on around your we would maybe like your sacral chakra, like how you feel connected in your community and how you connect to, like how, like feeling intimate with others in a safe way. Like it's almost like there's been ice around your sacral chakra for so long. And it's like you've opened it up, maybe like you've thought it here and there, but not in any real, real way, I guess. And maybe, I mean, it could be, maybe it hasn't been the right time. It hasn't been the right environment. Maybe you've just been on this journey and, bear with me while I dig in a little deeper here. Yeah. So I feel like there's like a sacral healing that's finally coming full circle for you. This original wounding is like the healing with it is wrapping up. And yeah, with the Lovers being the central card, it really feels like, and I love the Lovers imagery because there's like a man and a woman, or two people, like I don't want to be too heteronormative here, but two people here. And there's always like an angel or like some higher being, not always, but oftentimes with the Lovers card, there's this higher being like orchestrating this, I guess, fated or destined meeting between these two people. And I kind of love that there's like body parts here too. That's interesting. It's like, I don't know. It's just feels very embodied, and this energy is very interesting. So it feels like, yeah, this Thorns card is kind of reminding me of the similar energy of the Ice card. It's either like icy energy where you just don't open up as easily, or like this thorny energy where like you're a little prickly. Like it's like I've got my thorns around me, so if you try to, it's like, yeah, it's like if that phrase, like if you want the rose you have to respect the thorn. But I feel like you've got your thorns up, it's like more thorns than rose. It's like you've had like this prickly energy around you, and even if you haven't wanted it to be there, it's been there. It's been this safety mechanism for you that you've been walking through the world with. Yeah. And when I see this Herbal Allies card, it makes me think of like animals and nature being a place where you feel safe, a place where you feel most safe and you feel most connected. So yeah, it really feels like this, like something happened, like a wounding happened to where you retreated inward and you feel less safe to open up within a community. Yeah, and the Seven of Wands card again is like you protecting yourself. It's like it feels like, yeah, I mean the overarching initial assessment of this energy is a sacral wounding, a wounding within your connections and within your ability to feel safe with people, feel safe in intimate relationships, feel trusting there. Being able to feel vulnerable. Like the Lovers card to me feels very like about like trusting someone enough like to feel completely intimate with them in all ways and you know, uncover all aspects of yourself. Like in that like this lotus flower, it's like opening the lotus and the vulnerability of that, and like the muck at the bottom, like even being able to like be vulnerable in that space and like in like your darker spaces with someone, you know, with another person, feeling safe in community. That's the healing. That's what you're being pulled into. But it almost just feels like I almost want to like cry a little bit. Like it's like you've been so far removed from that feeling that you want of safety, like it, like with this thorns, and you've been so, in the Seven of Wands, like so protective of yourself, so like guarded, that it's just not been a priority. It feels like this feeling intimately connected to your community hasn't been the priority. It almost feels like with the Magician being number one, like one solo person, it feels like you've been more focusing on creating your life the way you want it. Like this woman just looks so powerful, like in her power and like in her color, in her creativity, in her light. And the Magician is about, you know, manifestation and creation and having all you need. It's almost like you've cultivated this energy of I have everything I need within myself. And so I've like this color, this light, this connection, this intimacy, you've learned to find it within yourself. You've learned to find like this connection is the word. Like this connection and this like palatable, palatable, that's not the right word. You've learned to find this tangible connection within your own being and in the path you're taking, within your creativity, within what you're creating in your life, your mission, your goals, the steps you're taking. Like you've found this happiness and joy here. But I feel like it's almost like the Lovers card being in the center. It's like this is now your priority. And actually it feels like this is a priority in general in your life, overarchingly. It is much higher priority for you to feel connected in your community, in the human family. It is a need of ours, right? Like it is something that every human being needs, is to feel loved and supported by their community. We all need each other. So this is actually a very high priority. And I feel like this has been the priority, but you're shifting into this. You're shifting into wanting to feel connected, more supported, you want to feel like more able to, you want to be seen. You want to feel safe to be vulnerable with other people. Like you're ready for that next chapter of feeling safe and seen and connected and loved by people around you. So, I'm very interested in, I kind of like this idea. So this card says truth. And then like with this human being here, blowing, it almost looks like it's blowing the wind, like this human up here. And if the wind is the truth, I feel like I don't know, like there are people that are going to be coming into your life, or a person, that is going to be speaking so much truth and reflecting back so much truth of, like I said, I think the first thing I said was, how lovable are you? Like, wow, you are so lovable. And I feel like this person or these people that are going to be coming into your life, for sure, they are coming, they are meant for you, will be just reflecting back how lovable you are. And it's in a way that like you couldn't understand on your own. It's in a way that you kind of need that outer reflection, for you to know more deeply. You need that outer assurance and confirmation of just how lovable you really are, and how beautiful you really are, and how amazing you are. I feel like, yeah, the people who come into your life, if they're not reflecting that back to you, then there's an imbalance, because that is what it's supposed to feel like. When people who are the closest to you are supposed to magnify to you and help you understand how and why you're so lovable and you're so beautiful and you're so amazing. Like they're supposed to like magnify your goodness, and they're supposed to want joy for you, want happiness for you. And yeah, like this is here for you. This is available. This is an available reality, a relationship where you feel seen in all of who you are, and in doing so, in being extremely vulnerable in all of who you are, this person tells you why you're lovable within that space, even in those places where you don't feel lovable, or you feel ugly, or you feel tainted, or shameful. These people come in and send you love in those places, and as much as you're able to do that for yourself, it just hits different when someone else comes in, someone that you admire and someone that you love so deeply and you honor so deeply can do that for you. It's a different, more validating and more fulfilling relationship. As much as your relationship with yourself is amazing, and it feels like you've cultivated this amazing love for yourself and acceptance for yourself, I just feel like you need other people. We all need other people to truly, like, it sounds kind of crazy, but it's like, oh, you need other people to help you feel validated. And a lot of times, like, the message is like, you don't need other people to validate you. And yeah, sometimes it is an imbalance. Sometimes it is this, like, you're over looking for other people's validation. But in this case, I really feel like that's a soul need of yours, is to feel loved, seen, and validated by the people around you, and uplifted, your goodness reflected and magnified in the people around you. Like, that is a soul need of yours, and that's something that is available to you. It really feels like this energy here, it's not saying like, which I think it definitely is, destined. You are destined for these type of relationships, and this level of intimacy and trust in your community and your relationships. But this energy that's coming in really is more of like this, texturized, tangible, like, hey, this is available to you. This is here literally in this plane of existence. These type of relationships, this type of relationship is available to you. And all you have to do is like have the courage to walk towards it. So, wow. Yeah, it feels very like real, like grounded. It feels like if you've ever doubted that these types of relationships aren't like that's like, if you ever doubted that that's available to you or that that's real, it absolutely is. I feel like this is trying to like nail it into your mind and into your being, that absolutely you are made to feel connected to the people around you, supported, loved, honored by the people around you, seen, validated. Like, abso-fucking-lutely, like, you are meant to experience that. And for whatever reason, like, if you're doubting that, I don't know, that it feels wrong. It feels like you need to scrutinize any beliefs that make you feel unworthy of love by the people around you. Definitely. There's like, whoa, like, hey, like, come on now. Like, the core of who you are is so insanely lovable. And not only that, there are people out there who are like begging to have someone like you in their life. So it's just, if there's a doubt that a healthy relationship, you know, as far as a partnership goes, or like healthy friendships, or whatever it is you're craving in your life as far as your connections go, if there's any doubt that, I don't know, it almost like feels like you've got this like blinders up of like, well, I've never experienced it in the way I want to. It doesn't work out usually, or whatever. Like, so it's like you can't see it and you've never seen it, so you think it's not there. And it's like, it's interesting. But I feel like when it comes in, it will feel so natural that you will wonder why you ever like doubted it. So yeah, like you are absolutely made for these healthy, intimate partnerships and relationships. And they're not going to be like, if there's any fear around it, it's the fears are unfounded, because they're going to feel safe, natural, good, easeful, light, like less anxiety. Like anxiety's not even really going to, it's just going to feel so safe that, I don't know. I mean, it's out there for you. Or maybe it's already in front of you, and you need to soften yourself up to let it in. Like you need to thaw the ice around your wounding and like trust, you know? And because I do also, there's like a message about like you can do as much healing as you want. Like this card, it feels like this is you, like if you've been wounded, this is you like holding off all connections, or like putting walls up all around you and protecting yourself so that you can find the love and the light within yourself and find the acceptance and love for yourself, which seems like absolutely necessary, and finding that like soul star light to guide you in the right direction of healthy love, healthy intimacy, healthy relationships. It's like you've been doing all this work to get yourself to that point where you know what that feels like for yourself. And I feel like how that feels like for yourself is going to be very similar to how that feels from other people. Like this just true, deep acceptance of who you are. Like whatever you cultivated within yourself, and that ability to accept all of you, even your darkness, that same capacity is in other people, and they're going to be able to do the same thing for you. I wonder what this King of Wands is for. That's interesting. It almost feels like courage. Like it's giving me this like strong, powerful courage energy. And wow. It's kind of surprising. Like, I guess technically it's the muse of inspiration, the muse of wands. So, and it's interesting. We've got the moon. So I kind of like that the moon is like more watery, and we've got all this fire element here. But it feels like, yeah, like the moon does remind me of the sacral chakra. And it feels like all this fiery, like power, like courageous energy. Yeah, I see you walking on this path here, and you're walking, this is going to be this like motivation, this like internal fire and drive to push yourself through any fears, to open yourself up to new people, new connections, or new ways of connecting to existing relationships. It's going to be this like motivation that like drives you forward despite your fears. And like this moon is just representing like your emotions, your sense of connectedness to people, your intuition. Like it just feels like you're walking into a space of where you feel safe in your body, safe in your sacral area, safe in all of who you are, to be vulnerable and knowing that you are safe no matter what, and letting all your ice melt, letting all your guards down, opening, like letting your rose like bloom as opposed to like hiding behind all your thorns, like, and just opening up. And yeah, I feel like this huge burst of motivation is going to come through to walk towards that path of intimacy and connection, because this is just such a huge part of your path. Like it's an integral need of your soul and your body, and like it's just a need of yours to be more connected to the people around you. And this is saying like you have access to that motivation to push past your fears and open up and let people in. And that is going to happen, and this is all available to you. So it is choice, right? I feel like I'm trying to like figure out what this Nine of Wands is. So Nine of Wands is about endurance. So, I love how like this beautiful orange color here that she's wearing, and it is very Sacral Chakra-y. But yeah, the Nine of Wands is like that final push at the end of a chapter, that final push to get to where you're going. It's like nines are about like closing off chapters, and it feels like there's this huge, powerful internal drive and push that's almost like instinctual, that's going to drive you into spaces where you're allowed to be more open, more vulnerable, more yourself, where you feel more safe being yourself, where you feel safe being yourself, even if, like just new spaces being yourself. And like I feel like it's like this internal drive of like, okay, I'm going to be myself no matter what, because whoever, like in my raw and vulnerable truth, that is going to be how I attract the right people to me that can like, that are attracted to me, that are connected to the true me. It really does feel like there's this like fire, like that's gonna push you into like exposing yourself in like group settings or around people in general, and knowing and trusting if you are doing that, like you are just going to attract exactly who wants to be around you, wants to be with you. So yeah. Whew, okay. I hope this is coming through like well. I'm kind of feeling a little all over the place, but one second, I need a drink. So the sunflower that you chose, it actually makes me think of like you being you in your true essence is really like powerful and bright. Like you being you is like this effervescent, light, beautiful, impactful, powerful, loving, colorful. Like that's who you are, like this colorful, amazing, loving being. And I feel like when you've been in this cocoon of healing for yourself and shutting out everyone, you haven't felt thus far like safe to be like that in the world. And you know what? I think there's meaning to that. If you're ever dogging yourself for like not being your full self around other people, I think that is strategic, and I think it's been necessary. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because I feel like you've needed this time to cultivate an inner sense of safety so that when you do move forward and you do start opening up, you truly, truly are safe. Like you can trust in like that gut sacral energy to guide you to the connections that are safe. So whatever you've been going through and however you've been relating to the people around you, I think it's all exactly how it's meant to be. So if you've been questioning that of like, why can't I open up, or why have I been so closed off, or I wish I could just be my full self no matter who I'm around, or something like that. Like, I feel like, no, I think you've been doing exactly what's necessary. I think you can trust in the ways in which you open up. And maybe like you haven't even been in the right environments yet, you know, maybe there are these new environments you're meant to walk into. And once you get there, you're going to be like, oh, I know I'm safe here. I am true. Like you feel it in the core of your being, you feel it in your gut, in that sacral energy. You feel that safety and that knowing. And it's like an effortless, like exhale where you can just finally be. And so, yeah, wow. Yeah, I feel like, if you have felt like a need to shift your environment, or if you're wanting to move into new spaces around different types of people, like I would say yes, like that's encouraged, if that's been on your mind or heart. But otherwise, for some people it feels like you are okay in your environment. Maybe you've been closed off, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the people around you are untrustworthy. It just means that this has just been a necessary kind of portal you've had to walk through to do your inner healing and to strengthen your ability to show up in the world in a healthy way. And then have that be reflected back to you. Like it's all been like divinely guided. It feels all very necessary. So whatever you've been doing, the path you've been taking, has definitely been strategic in a good way. So, but I do sense this opening up coming for you, and whatever environment you're in, like whether you enter into those new ones or the one you're in now, I sense this unfoldment going, like slowly starting to happen. And so just like one big message is like, just trust yourself, trust when you need to close off, and trust when you feel safe to open up, and just go with those fluctuations. And trust your path and trust who you are, and know that you're safe. And it really does feel like the truth of how lovable you are is going to become more and more apparent to you and reflected back to you and the people around you. And the more, I just feel like you're walking into the ability to love others more deeply and show others the love you have in your heart for them in a new way, or in a way that comes natural to you, but maybe you've been more closed off a little bit, like you haven't been as warm maybe as you could be, and I feel like that warmth is going to start coming through, and you're like that nurturing energy of who you are is going to start coming through. So yeah, I feel like you're definitely walking into this new space of loving yourself and allowing yourself to be loved by others, and also loving others, and feeling comfortable being more warm and what's the word, like just loving towards, like really affectionate. That's a good word. Like it feels like the affection has been tampered down, and now like your affection is going to start unfolding, and that's awesome. And it feels like these slow, like one petal open, then another petal open, and it's like a very slow process, and I think that's what you need. So don't ever pressure yourself to like go like full force, like, you know, like don't think that you're doing anything wrong by having the boundaries you have. It's just that you needed those for a little while, and now you're slowly learning to feel safe without them, and it's going to take some time, and that's okay. Like it's a process, but I think the more you keep walking this path, the more, it's all gonna feel good and safe and healthy and holy and and beautiful and connected, and I just feel like there's so much relational fulfillment available to you that you're walking towards. It feels inevitable. It really does. It feels like there's like a magnet pulling you into that like energy. So I don't think there's really anything too overtly that you need to do. There was something about this like push. So there might be some instances where you do have to like kind of tap into your inner like drive to like push past a fear and do something vulnerable. There will be times like that. So when that seems to be the case, like you'll feel it, you'll feel this like, I really feel like I have to do this thing, but I'm so scared to do it. I'm going to feel so vulnerable and so like raw, and I'm so scared. Like there are going to be instances where that happens, but it's like, just take one foot after the other. And once you do the thing and you do the vulnerable thing, and you'll feel much better, and you'll be like, oh, okay, that wasn't so bad. Like it's exposing yourself, it can be scary. So yeah, so I mean, ultimately, like, how can you heal your sacral chakra? Just keep going on this path you're going on, slowly unfold, let yourself slowly unfold, be compassionate with yourself as you walk these steps. And if you need it, you can go and retreat. Do what you need to do sometimes. But also when you feel like that inner call, like you need to do this one thing and it's going to be scary, but you need to do it, just do it, and it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine once you've done it. And it's going to only bring you further and further and deeper into the safety and truth of how lovable and how connected you inherently are to the rest of humanity. And yeah, it's going to bring you to people who feel like home. So yeah. This wild card kind of feels like maybe like walking this path of opening and being vulnerable, like people will drop into your life that like you are obsessed with, and like they're like meant to be in your life, but it's like I would have never guessed this would be the person that came into my life and like shook it up, or like I became so close to them, and like it feels like, whoa, like I don't know where you came from, but you are like literally my soul fam. Like you're so cool, like this is perfect. Like that energy, like, oh, like the universe is going to throw like some wild cards at you in the form of like amazing, quirky, weird human beings. And yeah, and like nature feels like a sanctuary for you as well. Like their connectedness to nature is just a good balance to your connectedness to humanity. And like yeah, and like this weather card, like it's connections. Yeah, there are triggers, and there are like every relationship in general is imperfect, and it just feels like just weathering storms with other people. Like there's going to be this sense of kinship and sense of supportiveness that where you're just like you're weathering storms with people, and they're there for you and you're there for them, and you're each other's like rock through the hard times, the good times, the heavy times. And it just feels like there's so much like connectedness awaiting you that's going to feel so like just like home. And that's I love the sun card over here too. It's beautiful. There are 5 flowers there, and 5 is a number for change. So there's a lot of change coming for you, and a good change, really good change, but gentle, easy change. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about your connections, because it's going to slowly change and open up, and the people who are coming in, it's not going to feel scary or overwhelming. It's going to feel right and good. So there's nothing to worry about as far as your connections go, as far as your search for a companion goes, as far as like where you're heading in your relationships. Like it's all going to feel like a natural change and flow. And yeah, you're on the right path, and like you are so loved. So, and that's you're going to see it reflected back to you in the people, in the eyes, the words, the arms of the people you are surrounded by. Like that's inevitable. So keep walking, keep being gravitated towards, just keep going in the path you're going on, because it's the right path. So I think that's it. I think that's your message, beautiful group number 3s. So thank you so much for being here. This is the end of all 3 sacral chakra readings. So we are going to enter into the infinite prayer now. The infinite prayer are collective energy healing transmissions that I do. So for the chakra series, I'm actually doing 1 infinite prayer session for each chakra. So it will be for the entire group 1, 2, and 3 readings. If you feel called to any of the other 2 readings, I'm imagining that they're all interrelated and interconnected. So thank you so much for being here. I hope you do join us in the infinite prayer. The link will be down below. I've made it extremely accessible, so I hope you can make it. And if you do, I would love some feedback. If you could comment down below about how the infinite prayer went for you, that would be amazing. So, but yeah, thank you so much for being here. Bye.